You can keep eating and drinking, but I'm going to ask you to just stop chatting for a bit while I introduce our guests to you. So, welcome. I want to begin by welcoming all the elders who are here tonight, as well as the currently elected chiefs, the former chiefs, the hereditary chiefs, the Métis and Inuit leadership, and other Indigenous government leaders and officials of First Nations, Métis, and Inuit communities participating in this event. I also want to acknowledge that we are gathering on the lands of the Kwalin-Dun First Nations and the Ta'an-Kachan Council of the Yukon First Nations. We thank them for their hospitality and their stewardship of these lands and waters for centuries. We are really fortunate tonight to have Grand Chief Peter Johnson with us to provide some welcoming remarks. The Chief is a member of the Teslin Tlingit Council and a member of the Yanyeri clan. Peter's 12 years of service in council government has provided him with opportunities to sit in many capacities, ranging from education, investment, and economic development. Grand Chief.
Gnalchish le Katuan, Staratini Hat Dusak, Slinget Genach, Deslin Kwana Hat, Chish and Atlahashi Dusak. It's so great to be here. Just want to welcome, on behalf of the Council of Yukon First Nations, our visitors to the territory and all our friends and family that have returned. We wanted to say welcome back. It's such a privilege to host this event, especially during crazy and trying times. However, here in the territory, we seem to be on the outside of that, which is great, and it's just great to be amongst a gathering for once, which is something not only good for the spirit, but also good for our economy, and I thank you very much for being here. Yukon is the home of 14 nations, First Nations. We're also home to 11 self-government and land claim agreements, which is not only provides the First Nations with the jurisdiction, the opportunities to be a part of the economy, the opportunities to co-govern in this territory, and opportunities not only for our people to find success, especially our younger generation, but also to build that wealth, which will provide our governments with the opportunity for not only that financial stability, but also for more opportunities going forward. Within these opportunities, we've, as the Council of Yukon First Nations, and the legacy behind Together Today for Our Children Tomorrow, which is the founding document, which now gives us not only the platform, however, and also the foundation for our future generations. However, it does give us that ability to have a say, and as most people are aware, within the history of Canada, we've not always been not only in the room, but not in the conversation at all. But here in the territory, thankfully, over the last 30-odd years or so, we've been very much players, not only in the economy, as mentioned, but also in the vision of where the territory is going forward. When we look at where our territory is going forward, we are the fastest growing city in all of Canada at the moment, with a booming economy, a healthy, basically an investment opportunity for people that would like to seek their fame and fortune in the territory, whether it's in the mining sector or in other investments such as green energy. We are definitely open for business on many different factors, and we do now, as Yukon First Nations, have established trusts now that give us that investment capital, but also the jurisdiction to make those choices. So there's a ton of opportunity, and we would not be here without our esteemed leadership, our elders, the people that had the vision for what they wanted to see for our people, because as mentioned, we've gone through as many as others across the country, the political demise, if you will, on policy and legislation that has been made not on behalf of our people, but not by our people. And we could look at the residential school legacy, the Indian Act, enfranchisement, as many different barriers. However, as mentioned, we can only thank our leadership and our elders for that dedication, the resilience, the commitment to a better way for our people today. And I'm a product of that, and many of my generation now reap the benefits of having those opportunities at our forefront. However, it's so important for us now to think very similar to our elders and our leaders did 50 years ago, that we do need to think about the future. And I would like to think that gatherings such as this gives us not only that autonomy to be a part of the conversation and to enrich it, but also to hopefully come away with a lot of good ideas and things that we can measure our future successes with that. So with that, I would just like to say Gulin Chish. It's a great opportunity to be here, and welcome back. Thank you.
Thank you, Grand Chief Johnson. It's now my pleasure to invite Coady Wilson up to the stage to say a few words. Coady, some of you will know, is a longtime member of the advisory committee for this conference, going back several years. And when she isn't helping to organize this conference, she's the Executive Director of Indigenous Initiatives and Partnerships at the British Columbia Institute of Technology. She also holds the position of National Indigenous Education Chair for Colleges and Institutes Canada, and she is chair of the World Federation of Colleges and Polytechnics Indigenous Affinity Group. Coady.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to all the elders, all the people that have given prayers. Thank you to everybody for allowing me to be on this territory. I am really grateful to be here, as I'm sure you are. And I certainly know on behalf of the advisory committee, we are really glad that you stuck with us over these last 3 years. I think it was almost exactly 2 years ago that we had all planned to be here, and then we changed the date on you 3 times. So really grateful to have you all here. And just an FYI, I am not Jody Wilson-Raybould. That is my sister. I've heard you speaking about me around me, so feel free to just actually ask me next time. That would be great. But I just want to say thanks on behalf of it. And Peter actually stole my line. One of the things I have to say that I've been fortunate enough to come to the Yukon, I don't even know how many times, and actually travel the entire territory. But one of the things that has always impressed me back in 1972 is that they did put agreements together that we're about together today for our children tomorrow. And I think that's a tagline or something that we can all continue to think about in all of the work that we do, because really everything we do has to be for that next generation. That isn't just an Indigenous perspective. It is something that all of us as Canadians, as whatever nations you're from or wherever communities you come from, that it's extremely important to remember that, is that there has to be sustainability in what we do. There has to be longevity in what we do, and we have to walk softly on this earth and figure out ways to do that. But just on behalf of the advisory committee, I'm up here to say thank you and welcome you. But we have, if you guys can stand, I know you're trying to hide because they made me do this talk. Daryl Brown is somewhere. Daryl? Yeah. James Harper, Jordan Bunoff, where are you? Yeah. Grant, I haven't actually seen, oh, okay, there we go. And then we have 2 advisory members, Paul Emile McNabb and Judith Sayers, who weren't able to attend, but you'll see them, I believe, on some video feeds. But on behalf of the advisory committee, and of course on behalf of Pembina, who's been fantastic to work with, we're really grateful that you stuck with us, and we really hope that you enjoy your time here, and we look forward to getting to know you better. Thank you.
Thank you, Coady. Sustainability and longevity, 2 important concepts. So the hits just keep on coming here tonight, you guys. With us as well tonight is the Honourable Nils Clark, Minister of the Environment for the Yukon Territory. Minister Clark was elected to the Legislative Assembly of the Yukon in 2016. He represents the electoral district of Riverdale North. Before becoming an MLA, he tells me he was the head of the legal aid clinic here in the Yukon. And since being elected, he's served as the Speaker of the Legislative Assembly. And in his spare time, he also serves as the Minister of Highways and Public Works. Nils.
Can you hear me? It's okay? Yeah. I have some vaguely canned remarks here, which of course will not take too much of your time, but all I would say is for those of you who have not been to the Yukon yet, welcome to the Yukon. This time of year is 4 seasons. Nah, that's a stretch. Not 4 seasons in one day, but certainly 3 seasons in one day. This morning you were probably thinking, what am I doing here? With those rather massive snowflakes. But obviously by the end of the day we're at plus 11, plus 12 with gorgeous sunshine, and we're already into the endless spring, which then goes into the endless summer. So for those of you who are here for the first time, I encourage you to stay as long as you can, and certainly come back again. It's well, I'm biased, but it's a fantastic, fantastic place. So thanks so much. Good evening, everyone. I'm pleased to join you all here today on the traditional territory of the Tahnkochon Council and the Kwalindun First Nation for the Renewables in Remote Communities Conference. As Minister of Environment and as indicated as Minister of Highways and Public Works as well, I'm encouraged to see so many people in one room working towards the same goal of a cleaner future. As you all know, our territory is vast, almost the size of France, and dotted with a patchwork of remote and resilient communities. Historically, we have been able to meet approximately 90% of our electricity needs each year with clean, renewable power sourced largely from hydroelectricity, but it will be sourced as well with other things like grid-scale batteries, solar, wind as well, and hopefully pump storage at some point as well. Our clean future is the Yukon's blueprint to address the climate crisis while building a resilient and sustainable future for our territory. Through this strategy, we will reduce the use of fossil fuels and provide access to clean electricity, all the while building resilience and a green economy. In addition, in April of 2021, the Government of Yukon increased the Yukon's greenhouse gas reduction target to 45% by 2030 from 2010 levels, which is similar, as you all, I'm sure, very well know, to the federal ambitions. By taking actions and working together, we can achieve this ambitious reduction target. As the Yukon's economy and communities grow, and as Yukoners increasingly invest in electric vehicles and electric heating technologies, demand for electricity will, of course, grow. Clean, renewable energy in communities is essential to support a just transition, strengthening resilience, and creating new economic opportunities. Through our Clean Future, the Government of Yukon and partners will achieve this by increasing the supply of electricity generated from renewable sources and supporting local and community-based renewable projects. Currently, 4 Yukon communities are not linked to the main electricity grid. Instead, they are served by microgrids that are primarily powered by diesel generators. While the Government of Yukon undertakes various actions to ensure Yukoners have access to reliable, affordable, and renewable energy, we recognize that collaboration with partners is critical to a just energy transition. There are a number of examples, which I'm sure you'll hear about during the course of your deliberations in the next 2 days, but I just wanted to highlight one, which I'm sure the delegates here have heard of. But it's important to take time to celebrate these partnerships, such as the partnership with the Tlingit Homeland Energy Limited Partnerships for the Atlan Hydro Expansion Project. The Yukon government has committed $50 million over the next 5 years towards the Atlan Hydro Expansion Project, including $15 million for the project this year. This project will expand the existing Indigenous-owned and operated 2-megawatt hydropower facility in Atlan, BC by an additional 8.5 megawatts of energy and export this new power to the Yukon's grid through the new transmission line. And once again, as a bit of a tourism plug, you'll probably have heard of Atlan being just this jewel that is kind of part of the Yukon, but this jewel in northern British Columbia, just down the highway, approximately 2 hours away, but it's absolutely stunning community. This project will deliver clean electricity to the Yukon, help the territory reduce emissions, and meet the targets in our Clean Future while ensuring that electricity rates remain as low as possible for Yukoners. The Atlan Hydro Expansion Project is a priority for the Yukon government as a significant step forward in moving Yukon and northern British Columbia towards a more sustainable, greener energy system. The Government of Yukon supports the development of locally sourced renewable energy to meet our growing needs to move us towards a sustainable and self-reliant energy supply. I promise I am almost done. Stop it now. Invite the politician. I am encouraged by the goal of this conference to accelerate an Indigenous-led transition to clean energy in remote communities. The key areas of investment strategies, climate and energy policy, regulatory changes, and strengthening of businesses related to sustainable investments resonate with the urgency of the climate emergency and support the commitments outlined in our Clean Future. The Government of Yukon is committed to continued collaboration and partnership to address the climate emergency, both within our borders and beyond. And we are committed to building a sustainable and self-reliant energy supply that meets the Yukon's growing energy needs. As Grand Chief Johnston indicated, we are the fastest growing jurisdiction in Canada, albeit, I'll grant you, a small jurisdiction, but nevertheless, the fastest growing jurisdiction in Canada. We invest in local renewable energy projects, encourage the purchase of green technologies, and help Yukon businesses and workers develop new skills to support our clean energy industry. I would like at this point to express my gratitude to the Pembina Institute for organizing this important gathering. Thank you all for attending today, and thank you for your commitment, your passion, and your efforts in leading change in the space of renewable energy. Thank you very much, and once again, welcome to Whitehorse and welcome to the Yukon. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Clark. Now, the gods of technology, I'm looking over there, permitting, we will listen to a video welcome from the Honourable Dan Vandal. Dan is the Federal Minister of Northern Affairs, and he's also responsible for the Canadian Northern Economic Development Agency and for the Prairies Economic Development Agency Canada. So a little bit about him before you see him on the screen. He's from Manitoba. He first became a Member of Parliament for St. Boniface, St. Vital in 2015, and then Minister of Northern Affairs in 2019. He has served 5 terms as a city councillor for the city of Winnipeg, so I think we can safely assume he has a good grasp of the sustainability challenges facing Canadian municipalities. Dan? Oh, that's me. Wrong person.
Hello and bonjour. Thank you for inviting me to this important conference, and I really wish I could be there in person, but I'm joining you from my office in Ottawa, the traditional unceded territory of the Algonquin and Anishinaabe people. I welcome all of you who are attending the conference, and I would like to congratulate the Pembina Institute who have worked hard in putting this event together, and to the participants who have traveled to Whitehorse from all across Canada. It's so important to have events like this, to meet face-to-face, to share ideas, and to learn from one another. Reducing the use of diesel fuel in the north and in the Arctic is absolutely essential for reducing the environmental impact as well as growing local economies. Our government, together with partners, is moving forward on an ambitious climate objective for Canada with a commitment to support Indigenous and remote communities in the transition to clean energy. Earlier today, myself and my colleagues, the Honourable Jonathan Wilkinson, the Minister of Natural Resources, and the Honourable Patty Haidu, who's Minister of Indigenous Services, announced an important investment of $300 million to support clean energy and energy efficient projects in remote and in Indigenous communities. With this investment, we are not only funding more clean energy projects in Indigenous, rural, and remote communities, we are investing in communities in realizing their own climate and their own clean energy goals. Going forward, we are making it easier for communities to access this funding through a single window service model. This means federal departments will work together on every project to bring the right federal resources together. We will also be providing more flexible funding to ensure that community-driven projects are prioritized and are at the center of a supporting network. We cannot do this alone. Indigenous partners must be at the table through the establishment of an Indigenous Council providing strategic guidance and advice on project development and selection as we move forward together. By working together, streamlining services, and supporting community leadership, it is our goal to see clean, reliable, and renewable energy in Indigenous and remote communities across this country. This is key to fighting climate change while creating a prosperous and secure, resilient future. You undoubtedly know about some of the projects that we have been fortunate to support that showcase Indigenous climate leadership and the good work that is already well underway. The Atlin Hydro Expansion Project, led by the Taku River Tlingit First Nation, has received an additional $32 million in budget 2022 to advance this important project so that Yukon can reduce its greenhouse gas emissions. The Three Nations Energy in Fort Chipewyan, Alberta, has built the largest off-grid solar farm in Canada. Fort Severn First Nation installed Ontario's most northern solar project. Tarkuti Energy, an Inuit-led energy company, is developing renewable energy systems and building clean energy capacity in Nunavik. Baker Lake in Nunavut is installing a solar energy system on a local recreational center. And in Nain, Labrador, the Nunatsiat government is advancing wind power projects. These projects and others like them reduce reliance on diesel. They contribute to clean growth and reducing pollution while also creating jobs, generating revenue, and supporting community well-being. These projects would not have happened without the leadership and the drive from you. The transition from diesel to clean energy is no small task. However, we are seeing an acceleration in progress as more leaders in this space are emerging each and every day, many of whom will be gathered at your conference tackling these challenges head on. I have confidence that by coming together, communities and Indigenous leaders, working alongside all orders of government, with support and expertise of the private sector, locally led innovative solutions will be further developed to accelerate the energy transition. I congratulate all of you for coming together on a path to a more sustainable future for Indigenous and remote communities, and I look forward to learning about the new approaches and the partnerships that come from this collaboration. Merci beaucoup, miigwech. Thank you very much. Udlakut, Tans.
Thank you, Minister Vandal. So it's now my pleasure to call upon Dave Lovkin to welcome you on behalf of the Pembina Institute. And in this audience tonight, I see Pembinistas past, present, and I think I even see a couple that are going to be there with us in the future. So I suspect Dave needs no introduction because you all know that he has single-handedly been fighting the COVID virus this past 2 years to bring this conference to you today. But I also want you to know that he is backed up with a small but mighty, extremely team of capable women at Pembina. And they're all the reason that we're here tonight. Dave?
Thank you, Linda. Good evening, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. No matter how many times you do this, you are always nervous. So I will get through the wave. I just really want to thank everybody for coming. Thanks to all the Indigenous leaders that have come across the country to join us and share their wisdom and experience. It has been a long haul in putting the conference together, but we're here, and I'm eagerly excited and also daunted. We're day 1 of 4, lots to do, but it's gone really well today, and I'm just so happy that everybody has been able to make it. I want to acknowledge that I'm a visitor on this land, on the traditional territories of the Kwanlin Dun First Nation and the Ta'an Quechan Council. I've been here 5 or 6 times, mostly for work. I did make one drive out to the traditional territories of the Coady First Nation and hiked a mountain. I will try to pronounce its traditional name. It's Chechal Dal, other known as Sheep Mountain. It was a beautiful hike with a friend that I had over the years, or I made over the years, and it was a lovely day, just getting a glimpse of the mountains of this territory. So I was very, very grateful for that. I'm going to read the room. It's been a long day. We still have a little bit of entertainment, so I'm actually going to pass by some slides, and just get to really what I want to talk about. I was going to talk about the history of this program. You know, it's important. I'm happy to share it one time. But I want to get to the conference objectives. And this is on our website. This was kind of from 2 years ago, 3 years ago when we started planning it, you know, about policy and financial mechanisms to support the growth of Indigenous clean energy projects. That's still true. We're going to talk about all of that. But I just want to make it really simple. You know, I want this conference to be about connecting, reconnecting, sharing, laughing, celebrate. You know, there's been some incredibly hard work done over the years, so I think it's time to celebrate those successes. Network, share, learn, teach. You know, learn what you've learned and teach what you've learned. I think there's been incredible experience gained since we've been here last in 2017 at the Coady Cultural Center. That's what I hope this conference to be about, sharing and learning and passing on knowledge about all the projects that have been built. And as we'll see tomorrow and get more into discussions, it's also about collaborating, accelerating, and replicating. You know, accelerating the transition, replicating projects. You know, it's simple concepts of lessons learned and learnings from projects, but they are so fundamental and they're so key. So we have to understand what has worked well, replicate that, and accelerate that, and continue to support Indigenous communities and their decisions and their journeys to develop projects. I'll just summarize by saying, from the perspective and the work that we do at Pembina, there's 2 driving forces. There is the immense capacity building and knowledge and skills that are being gained in remote communities, Indigenous people in remote communities. And there's lots of organizations that are supporting that. So that deep capacity building matched with the wisdom of what the right energy systems, energy efficiency, how to live appropriately in homes, how to build the right homes for the right conditions. And that being matched with government policies and programs that we've seen a lot of progress over the past few years. And there's some exciting things happening. We'll hear about them tomorrow. There's Canada's emission reduction plan that just came out a few weeks ago. There's a fund that was announced through the emission reduction plan on Indigenous climate leadership, and we're going to hear about that as well. So funds dedicated to supporting Indigenous climate leadership and advancing Canada's agenda to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. You know, critical for Indigenous communities to be at that table in that discussion. So there's been some funding announced for that. And then there's interesting things around net zero electricity grid by 2035, and a question of how the territories, you know, fit into that and how remote communities fit into that. And then there's the overall net zero 2050 goals of Canada being net zero with greenhouse gas emissions. So there's some really interesting policies been announced that are coming. And the matching of those two, I think, are creating the amazing conditions for Indigenous leadership in clean energy. That's all I want to say. I just want to say thank you, welcome. Just a quick housekeeping thing to switch to that. You know, we've tried to, anticipating the interest in this conference, we've added the multi-purpose room. Hopefully you're all aware now on the process, but if you do have a white badge, this is where you come tomorrow for plenary, and if you have a badge with a blue border, you'll go to the multi-purpose room to enjoy the experience as well, and we'll have some connections between the two rooms, and we'll share more about that tomorrow. So thank you very much. I look forward to the entertainment next. There's still lots of food. We'll see you tomorrow, and thanks again for coming.
Thanks, Dave. Sorry, just one more person to go here. As Chris Henderson from ICE pointed out this morning, we can't make diesel history without partnerships. So I'm just going to call on someone who's in the audience here tonight, Jay Massey from ATCO, who has been one of our partners for this conference. Jay started to work for ATCO in 1989. He was a power line technician by trade, and he's now responsible for all aspects of ATCO's day-to-day operations and capital programs. He leads a company of 70 employees. They operate 12 power plants and various distribution systems in 19 communities across the Yukon. He is a multi-generation Yukoner and a Tyon-Cachon Council citizen. Jay.
Thank you. What a bad spot to be. I'm not the entertainment, and I'm the last guy. Don Jay, good evening. Well, first, it's really good to see people together in a room. It's tough to get used to. Welcome to my home. Welcome to the traditional territory of my family and all Ta'an citizens. It's a shared traditional territory with the Kwanlundun First Nation. As mentioned, we operate a number of power plants across the north. In the Yukon here, we operate in 19 different communities. And in the NWT, with our Denendeh partners, we operate the power company in 10 communities over there. So it's interesting to understand why we're here, why I'm here, and I guess it's because I live here, for one. But I think ATCO is here for the same reason everybody else is. Reduce the reliance on diesel, using renewable energy operations. You know, that path to sustainability. And one of the keys to it is one of the things that we're doing here tonight and did today and all week, and that is collaboration. Terribly important, for industry, for government, all levels of government, federal, territorial, municipal, the indigenous governments, and of course, the communities. We're all on that shared path to sustainability. And I'm excited for it. I really am. It's just looking forward at everybody here. We're all on that same path. It's exciting for me to be a part of it, and it's exciting for ATCO to be a part of it too, and to work on those relationships. My coworker Ryan, he had a workshop earlier today, and he highlighted two of those relationships. One is with the Vuntut Gwichin First Nation in Old Crow for their community solar project, and the other, as the minister mentioned, was with Three Nations Energy in Fort Chip, Alberta, another community solar project. So, two renewable projects, community owned and operated, and successfully up and running. Good success stories, something that we want to continue to share. And just on that part, we're working on a 4-part webinar. There's a QR code on the ATCO little thingy. I think that's a technical term, the thingy there. Those webinars in September, we want to share lessons learned from those projects, but it's another chance for us to get together and collaborate. So hope to see you then. And with that, thanks so much. Welcome to the Yukon, and look forward to a productive week.
Okay, everyone, we're done. That concludes the official opening ceremonies for tonight's program. Local musicians Kevin Barr and Keitha Clark are here to provide some musical entertainment for the rest of this evening. We have this room until 9 p.m., but don't have too much fun because tomorrow's going to be a big day. Thank you.
It's nice to meet an old friend, pass the time of day, talk about the hometown a million miles away. Is the ice still in the river? Are the old folks still the same? By the way, did you mention my name? Did you mention my name just in passing? Looking at the rain, you remember if she drops a name or two? Won't you say hello from someone? There'll be no need to explain. By the way, did she mention my name? Did she mention my name just in passing? When the talk ran high, did the looking in her eyes seem far away? Is the old roof still leaking when the late snow turns to rain? By the way, did she mention my name? Is the landlord still a loser? Do his sons hang in the hall? Are the young girls still as pretty in the city in the fall? And does the laughter on their faces still put the sun to shame? By the way, did she mention my name? Did she mention my name just in passing? When the morning came, do you remember if she dropped a name or two? Won't you say hello to Heike? There'll be no need to explain. By the way, did she mention my name? And by the way, did she mention my name? Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much. Please, I'd like to introduce Keitha Clark, the lovely, talented Keitha Clark over here. My name is Kevin Barr, and we're here to play a few tunes for you. You guys have been hard at it, and sure glad that you're doing all the things that are going to keep us alive in the future, I do believe, with renewable energy and all of those kinds of things. I was just actually talking last night. I have a 1975 Ford pickup, and I think it's going to be obsolete pretty soon. So what are you going to do with all that stuff? So anyways, I guess we'll have to crush it and make it into solar panels and things. Perfect. Anyhow, we'd like to also thank you. We were here 4 years ago, I think, and then we were supposed to come back. COVID hit, and then we were coming back the next year, and COVID was still with us. So now here we are. So thank you very much for having us back here. Yeah. It's awesome, awesome. And I think I'd like to hear Keitha do a fiddle song for us. It's called Golden Slippers. Hello. She's fantastic. We do a little thing called Glendale Train. We're going to vamp it in the key of G. We've been having neighbors, even fellow Carcossians out there. Eh? The Caribou Coffee Shop is open again in Carcross, so please come and have a coffee with us down there. Whoa-ho-ho! Yes. Somebody robbed the Glendale train this morning, 9:30. Yeah, somebody robbed the Glendale train, and I swear I ain't lying. They made clean off with 16 G's, left 2 men lying in the cold. Yeah, somebody robbed the Glendale train, they made off with the gold. Now Amos White was the package man, and he dearly loved his job. Oh, the thought from me they rewarded him with a golden watch and a thought. Now Charlie, he was marking time when that door blew off of his car. They found Amos White in 15 pieces, they're 15 miles apart. Oh, somebody robbed the Glendale train this morning, 9:30. Yeah, somebody robbed the Glendale train, and I swear I ain't lying. They made clean off with 16 G's, left 2 men lying in the cold. Yeah, somebody robbed the Glendale train, they made off with the gold. Oh. Was the engineer, and he had 20 years on the line. He kissed his wife at the station gate this morning at 6:35. Now everything went fine till 9:30. Till Charlie, he looked up and he saw, oh, men on horses, men with guns, and no sign of the law. Yeah, somebody robbed the Glendale train this morning, 9:30. Oh, somebody robbed the Glendale train, and I swear I ain't lying. They made clean off with 16 G's, left 2 men lying in the cold. Oh, somebody robbed the Glendale train, they made off with the gold. Yeah, somebody robbed the Glendale train, they made off with the gold. Thank you very much. And I guess this is being live streamed to those that who aren't here physically, so we'd like to say thank you for being here, and hope you enjoy yourselves where you're sitting on your couch, maybe in your bathrobe. That's pretty nice, eh? Yeah. That's the whole thing about Zoom, eh? They can't see you, but you can see everybody else, so it's comfortable. Do you have another song for us? This is when you grow up with fiddle music and stuff, this is one of the ones that is like home cooked meal, and for me especially when I get to play with Keith or any other fiddle player, it takes me back to my father and me courting along with my father. And he's 90 years old. I'm going to get to see him in a couple of weeks, and we're going to actually play this song by his little wood fire in his little shop, and he'll probably have a little drink of wine. and I'll sip on some tea, and we're going to play this song called Faded Love. So here you go. That's the sweetest version of that tune I've heard, actually. That's beautiful. Wow. Well, I'm going to do something like that. Well, not like that, but it's actually written by Buddy Tabor, this song. And I know that the ice is melting. And in the fall time, the elders will tell you that you got to be careful of what you're doing out there in the land. And when the ice is melting in the springtime, it's kind of the same thing. So you got to be out there and know what's on the horizon, and or you can get caught in a very bad ways. This is called Thin Ice. The last thing they told me was, Billy, the ice is too thin. I wouldn't listen, and just like a fool, I fell in. I could see the lights of my village burn bright in my mind. I disobeyed nature, and now it's come my time. Late in October, I decided to go for a trip. Alone I did walk, except my dog at my heels, she didn't nip. I was out hunting rabbits when I crossed this frozen old slough. The ice was too thin, and Lord, I did fall through. The water was shallow, I climbed out, soaked to the bone. Laughing and shaking, I quickly started for home. 2 miles is a long way when you're wet, it's 20 below. I better start walking, 'cause I've got a long way to go. Oh, the last thing they told me was, Billy, the ice is too thin. I wouldn't listen, and just like a fool, I fell in. I could see the lights of my village burn bright in my mind. Disobeyed nature, and now it's come my time. My blue jeans are frozen, dear Jesus, please save my soul. Full on thin ice, God in heaven, I'm so cold. That faithful old dog, she stayed till the very end. When sleep overtook me, I heard her howl in the wind. The last thing they told me was, Billy, the ice is too thin. True story. Thank you very much. Had this on my pancakes yesterday. Yeah. We don't get enough time to play. I think the last time we did this was 3 years ago. So this is great. I'm really loving it. What was I thinking of? Well, this is a song. I don't know if we ever played this, but I rode into town today. In my mind, I said, Lord, I'd love to stay. Something in me said, boy, move on. Don't know what it is, the good Lord bred it in my bones. And I'm searching for a rainbow. And if the wind ever showed me where to go, she'd be waiting at the end. I know I'll see the hill with that pot of gold. I'll see the hill with that pot of gold. This old mountain ride's getting kind of tired, and in my heart there's just one desire. She's gonna take me to the end, and I know she's gonna lay down, die sick. God rest her soul. And I'm searching for a rainbow. And if the wind ever showed me where to go, she'd be waiting at the end, then I know I'll see the hill with that pot of gold. I'll see the hill with that pot of gold. And I'm searching for a rainbow. And if the wind ever showed me where to go, she'd be waiting at the end. And I know I'll see the hill with that pot of gold. I'll see the hill with that pot of gold. And I'm searching for a rainbow. If the wind ever showed me where to go, she'd be waiting at the end, and I know I'll see the hill with that pot of gold. I'll see the hill with that pot of gold. Thank you very much. Thank you. A lot of gold stuff goes on up here. I know we got time for a few more tunes. You guys have been having a long, hard day. How about a big hand for the sound guys that have been working hard for you all weekend long? Yes. These guys are great. We get to work with them often. Yeah. Well, thank you, guys. Here's a song that we do once in a while on the radio. It's called You Got Gold. Is there ever enough space between us? Keep us both honest and true. Why is it so hard to sit in the yard, stare at the sky so blue? I got a new way of walking, a new way of talking, honey, when I'm around you. And it gives me the blues when I got some good news. You all it there to bring it to. Now life is a blessing, a delicatessen. all the little favors you do. All wrapped up together, no matter the weather, but baby, you've always come through. There's a measure of pleasure that gives me the treasure, loving you the way that I do. You know I would gladly say I need your love badly, with all these little things you do. You got gold, gold inside of you. You got gold, gold inside of you. But Keith has got some gold inside her too. Well, thinking I'm knowing I gotta be going. You know I hate to stay so long. And it gives me a notion of mixed up emotions. Have to work it out in a song. I'm leaving a lot for the little I got. Oh, you know a lot of little will do. If you give me your love, oh, let it shine up above. Light my way back home to you. And you got gold, gold inside of you. You got gold, gold inside of you. All them mountain men got some gold inside them too. And you got wheels turning inside of you. You got wheels turning inside of you. Oh, my dad's got some wheels inside him too. We all got some wheels inside us too. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. That was called Saturday Night Hoedown, originating from Old Crow, Yukon. Yeah. No roads there. They did have a winter road this year. Well, we're going to do one more tune. You guys take care. Thank you for having us. And, whoa! Are you got any bannock left? No way. In the kitchen. Okay, we're going to hover around the kitchen. We're going to end it off with another fiddle tune. Thank you very much. Once again, be safe. Keitha Clark, Kevin Barr, thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Hey! What a show, what a show. You're a small but mighty crowd, I'll tell you right now.